Leveraged my power in tech, accumulated 5 full-time remote jobs with minimal work, and now rake in $1.2 million annually. I am in IT, I have a fairly niche title that everybody wants right now. I have 5 full-time jobs, 4 of which are Fortune 500 companies. If I manage all 5 for a year, I will make around $1.2 million in 2022. I made $16 an hour in 2016. I'm still struggling grasping the sheer amount of money dumping into my bank account. At the start of 2021 I got a new job. It paid around $70K, $105K to /170K, more than I was making at my previous job. I had the inside scoop from a previous coworker, so I was able to name drop and negotiate effectively. I was tempted to keep both jobs, since due to COVID both were fully remote. My fiancée is incredibly risk averse, so she talked me out of it. As I got situated in my new position, I became increasingly set on getting a second job. I played video games from 8 to 4, and sat in meetings barely paying attention. I've probably done around 15 hours of real work since I started in January of last year. In April I opened my resume to the world and by June I bagged job 2, $82 an hour. Holy crap. 2 jobs. I was giddy with the money, terrified of meetings overlapping, and horrified if they found out about each other. As I settled into job 2, I found the meetings to be tedious. There were around 4 hours of meetings each day for job 2. I suffered through them, agreeing to job 3, having never stopped interviewing. I just made my salary expectations higher and waited for something to fall in my lap. My thought process was that job 3, $90 an hour corp to corp, would likely replace job 2, as job 1 is a laughable cakewalk. However, since I am now in the position of power, I decided to try to flex it a bit. I told my project manager that the meetings were a waste of my time. They got nothing done, and they didn't contribute to my work at all. I now participate in an average of 45 minutes of meetings each week for job 2. Job 3 is also a cakewalk, around 5 hours a week of meetings, probably 5 hours a week worth of work. I continue to field any job that will hear my salary expectations. I am now saying $95 an hour is my salary expectation. Another corp to corp gig comes around, and the hiring manager loves me. Once again, being in the position of power, I am able to simply set my expectations with zero fear of the results. Given the scope of the work, my salary expectation is $105 an hour. The highest we can go is 100. Nope. They gave me my request. They then tried to push back my start date a week. I told them I had already gave my 2 weeks at my previous job, so they will need to pay me for the absent week. They hemmed and hawed, they tried to say no. I simply told them that I wouldn't work there then. They paid me $4,200 for a week that I didn't even sign in. I expected this job to fold quickly, as it's with a very prestigious company and there is quite a bit of spotlight on my role. It turns out that I haven't done fuck all since I started mid-October. At $4,200 a week to go to a stand-up each morning to say I have nothing to do since October / job 4 is somehow an even bigger cakewalk than job 1. On Monday I start job 5. Initially having agreed to $115, I tried to press them for $127 an hour, but ended up at $120. This appears to be another job that I will just sort of expect to get fired from, but hopefully it turns into another easy $5K a week for doing jack shit. Let's talk about things that I think are working for me. 1. Be fearless. After all, once you get job 2 your risk absolutely plummets. It is ingrained in you to be terrified of getting fired. That fear can fucking die when you move into your second role. The amount of relief of not having to worry about what your boss thinks of you, or how you accidentally overslept and that might piss off some clown in charge, it all fades. It's beyond freeing. 2. Be willing to be fired. I have the luxury of having job 1 be a cakewalk with incredible benefits. So, from there, who gives a fuck about getting fired from job X? I try to keep job 1 happy, in the future probably not saying things like I'm going to actively find a new job lol, and don't really give a shit about the others. I try to do the absolute bare minimum to keep all the jobs, since replacing one is a pain, but any fear of getting fired just isn't there. 3. Flex your power. Be willing to say I can't make that meeting or this meeting is a waste of my time. People don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to do something that might be stupid. Use the fact that most people also want to do the bare minimum to get by. I have had zero pushback when I've asked meetings to be moved, or hey, I can't make the stand-up today. 4. Fuck having to defend yourself. Just say I can't make it. I have gotten zero pushback on this. 5. Use your power position in not needing to listen about the job that is offering that paltry $65 an hour. Recruiters have a range. Demand the range. If it doesn't fit $10 to $15 an hour more than your current job, tell them no. I eagerly accepted a role at $82 an hour 6 months ago. Christmas Eve I accepted a position for nearly 50% more than that. Flex your power. Job 2 takes the power out of your employer's hands and plants it firmly in your own. Use it to climb, grow, and make your life what you want. I have paid off all my debt already, bought a second house, will have enough money to completely revamp both houses by the end of February, and plan on snowbirding from Florida to WV for the foreseeable future at the ripe age of 35. Since this is all debt-free, maybe I will cut down to 2 jobs? Maybe I will just dump money into retirement. Starting your own S-Corp is fucking powerful, guys. Talk to a CPA. Maybe I don't really give a fuck? Because the world, for the first time in my life, is my fucking oyster. I'm more than willing to answer any questions. Even though I have 4 acres, 5 jobs right now, I still play video games 4 to 5 hours a day. I have plenty of time. Hopefully this empowers someone to take the leap into this fucking incredibly positive lifestyle. Commenter, I love this. But I'm curious. Do your jobs not ask for statuses on tasks? How do you get away without producing much? Oop, I think most people think the bare minimum is much higher than it actually is. There's a lot of sighing, a lot of this roadblock, a lot of I ran out of time this week. There's been a ton of times that even I've been like there is no way they actually take this excuse, and they always do. Commenter, what tech stack you using? Oop, I'm hesitant to give any real details in this vein, but fuck it. I'm a site reliability engineer. I advocate for automating system tasks, along with working towards identifying issues that cause outages or issues that will eventually cause an outage. I mostly work within the Azure cloud, as it's easiest to hide behind the cloud when I'm ignorant on a topic. I'm honestly an absolutely trash engineer, and I fail any interview that really digs into technical knowledge. Commenter, are you salary or contract? Oop, 1 full-time, 1 W-2 contract, 3 corp-to-corp contracts. Commenter, corp-to-corp is new to me, where can I find jobs like this? Also, what do you put on LinkedIn or job history in your resume while working for multiple companies? Oop, most tech roles that are contracts will offer both W-2 or corp-to-corporation. You just need to have your own corporation, insurance, etc. Costs about $1.5K to set up all in all. I keep job 1 as my job history. I don't mention any of the other jobs. Update 1. I'm pretty slammed with 5 jobs. I was in meetings all day except for 30 minutes yesterday. The goal is to make a bunch of money. If I can make a bunch of money and not slave away for 8 hours a day, that would be ideal. Keeping J1. It is the easiest, and the one that would probably never fire me. However, resume management is a huge part of this emo. I don't want to have some weird amount of time where I'm working 2 jobs according to my resume. The titles at both of the new potential jobs are also very good. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. The excitement does fade. I'm pretty used to the amount of money flowing now, and honestly it still manages to feel slow. LOL update 2. Hey everyone. I've had lots of people ask for an update, and I got notified that it's my 10-year cake day today, so I'm feeling inspired to write up a summary of my last 4 months. I still have all 5 jobs. I've gotten a promotion at 1, a surprise extension at 1, and berated for not delivering anything at all at 1. When berated about a month ago, I simply yelled back that my job is hard and that poor communication from management has pulled me in many directions, and I haven't heard anything about it since. I've stepped my game up slightly to hopefully eliminate these chats in the future. I have had several large deliverables that have been pretty stressful. I tend to heavily procrastinate, which is honestly probably why I am good at managing multiple things. I inflict this on myself constantly. LOL, and that has led to some overwhelming moments. Thoughts like I should quit this job instead of deliver came to me pretty often, but that's pride talking. Fuck pride. Fire me please, daddy. So I've been continuing the trudge, trying to not allow the absence of good work and the looming concept of being let go get the better of me. I have a plan, I'm sticking to it. Job 5 turned into the biggest cakewalk of all. I get paid about $20K a month for job 5, have a nice extension into August, and have done about 3 hours of work, probably about 8 hours including meetings, since I started. This one is not going to last forever, but my boss and I jive well, and I am serving the purpose they want me to serve, so everyone is happy. I'm still playing 2 to 6 hours of video games every day, averaging about 15 hours of work. Editor's note: oop, clarified he meant per week, not day. I've started playing video games through meetings and paying even less attention than normal. This is honestly probably pushing things too far, and I'll need to limit myself a bit better. Once again, I will be aggressive about answering reasonable questions. To the guy that asked if I would be a reference for him, I appreciate you shooting your shot, but JFC, give advice, or whatever. Please recognize that I am not some grand poobah of employment though. I am a trash employee who kind of lucked into a vein of IT that people don't know how to control yet. There have been a huge number of quality of life adjustments. My wedding is coming up and has been paid for completely in cash. I paid for 6 people to fly to it, helped my younger brother out with some cash. I tip like 100% at every restaurant we go to. I'm absolutely being more frivolous than I should if I was trying to be as efficient as possible, but it's fun as shit and I get to make other people have a good time too. Life is good. There was another dude in the previous post that was an SRE, site reliability engineer / and he just flat called me a liar because his job was so demanding. I think being an SRE is a place where you can chill, or inflict a ton of positive change if that's what you're into. I think the real secret sauce is knowing how to be a shitty employee without anyone really catching on, rather than being an SRE specifically. It's modified now a bit. I have a switch on the far right side with 4 computers attached to it and switched to a mouse/keyboard/monitor setup for whatever job I am doing work for. But that picture gives the main gist. Update 3. At the start of 2022 I had 5 jobs making an estimated 1.2 mil/year. That estimate turned out to be bad. It was more like 960k. My update consisted of being wary about J2 being dissatisfied with me, J5 offering a dramatic contract extension, and the other jobs going mostly well. There have been 2 main moments that I would like to share with the group, and both of them include being let go. J2 I initially hated, due to their excessive meetings. As my beloved reader may recall, I pushed them aggressively about how those meetings were a waste, and they were significantly cut down. J2 was relaxed and I didn't do much at all. My leadership changed at about the 6-month mark, and immediately my new supervisor smelled the foul stench of a dogshit employee. At first I thought he was simply grumpy in general, but it turned out he wasn't interested in continuing my contract. He scheduled a meeting about 3 months into being my boss, and explained that he was frustrated that I don't deliver anything. I yelled back that my job is hard, and didn't hear much from him over the next 3 weeks. With no real warning, the contract company I was working through emailed me and told me I was no longer an employee with them, pack your laptop, yada yada. While you could say his comment about me not delivering was a warning, there was no actual talk of you aren't delivering well enough, if you don't improve you will be let go. If this was my only job I would be angry and poor. J5. I truly miss job 5. My boss used me as a scalpel occasionally after I met my initial goals. We got along amazingly well. I barely worked. She knew I barely worked. I got the weird crazy shit done that she needed a consultant to handle that an employee might get in trouble for. Truly an amazing gig. She said my contract would extend into 2023. Insert frowny face here. The economic downturn led to the money drying up for all consultants at this company, of which there were many, and I got about 1 week of notice, in the middle of a 3-week vacation I was on, that my job would effectively not be available when I got back. My boss reached out, apologized for the abruptness of it all, and we said our farewells. If this was my only job I would be angry and pee. This, to me, is why we do what we do. In one instance I got fired for being a shit employee that deserved to get fired. In the other my boss is exceedingly pleased with our working relationship, but the company chose to protect profits over giving a shit what the impact was to the individual. In both cases the company chose to utilize a safety net to protect itself. It has the luxury of shedding employees in order to protect the plans or financials of itself as an institution. OI allows individuals to develop their own safety net. It provides a solid you fuck on me? I fuck on your relationship with these employers that truly don't care, due to the nature of capitalism, profit focusing, and corporate mindset. It levels the playing field considerably. For those of you reading that suffer from a deranged moral compass that wants to bootlick for these abhorrent corporations that don't give a single flying fuck about you, I want you to consider the above 2 lessons. Very different perspectives, same exact result. As an overall life update, House 1 renovation is completely done, paid in cash. My Tesla has been purchased and received, paid in cash. I took a lavish vacation overseas and paid for 10 people to go, paid in points for travel, cash for the Airbnbs. House renovation 2 is set to be paid for and will hopefully begin at the start of this year. In essence I have shrunk down about 10 years worth of goals to about 10 months. With the 3 current jobs I make just under 600k, and I start a new job for this week. As always, I am pretty much willing to answer any question that doesn't dox my ass. I am a huge advocate for this mechanism of changing your lifestyle and your life goal timelines, and I hope to convince at least one more person to take the leap. Icarus, with slightly melted wings, commenter, how the heck can you take a 3-week vacation from 5 jobs all at once? Oop, I had been fired from J2 already. The other 3 are contract spots, so I just don't get J1 I took vacation days. I have a LinkedIn that stops at current J1. I'm pretty sure someone from J5 saw my J1 still posted on LinkedIn and called HR saying they thought I was working multiple gigs. I explained the general concept of what I was doing, sort of, giving them enough info to appease them but not enough to burn my lifestyle down. J1 HR was appeased, but it definitely made me rethink my current thought on LinkedIn. Mine is still active and listing J1 though. Commenter, the company chose to protect profits over giving a shit what the impact was to the individual. Really, dude? Really? Oop, to be clear, this wasn't the employer is bad because they did this. The point I meant to convey is simply the reality of the situation. The company will protect itself, and employees are some of the easiest things to shed. I'm advocating for the value of not having all of your eggs in one basket, not the evils of corporations protecting themselves. I said this in the other thread too, the CPA didn't even blink when I was describing the situation. Commenter, good for this person. That is a really sweet setup. It's still hard to not feel salty when I work 40+ hours a week as a teacher and am paid less than a tenth of what he earns in a year, at $600,000. Oop, I have a soft spot for teachers because of this. The people we should pay get absolutely fucked. I am paying one of my teacher friends $100k a year to learn how to do what I do, and hopefully take over a job or 2 in the near term. My other teacher friend wants to stick around, so I just buy everything for him when we are out and about. My heart goes out to you guys. You're super fucked right now. Hopefully it gets better. You are appreciated. Commenter, I've seen some humble brags in my life, but this takes the cake. I suspect you're going to write a book or become a financial personal trainer or some shit. You don't even know the story of Icarus. Oop, I call myself Icarus because someone in the first thread called me that. Icarus is the boy who made wax wings to escape jail, I think. He flew too close to the sun, focusing on having a blast flying, having too much confidence in his creation, and his wings melted. He plummeted to his death. My response to that naysayer was that I have many sets of wings because of this, but keeping the name is more of a troll of that one dude. I have no plans on leading people down silly paths and making money off of other people's backs. I truly love pilfering money from large corporations. I'll stick to that, thanks. I have been tempted to write a book though. People have seemed to enjoy my straightforward approach and aggressive honesty about myself. I doubt I will follow through with it though. Update 4. Hey guys, this is the 4th iteration of my Path of Oi. I started in about June of 2021 and have been updating semi-frequently since January of 2022. A bunch of you have asked for more updates, so here we are. For clarity, I will refer to all jobs by the number that they were received. As an example, J2 will be referred always as J2, though I am no longer employed there. J1 still going great, just got 50k dumped into my bank account as a bonus. Just got vested in all ways that I can get vested. The meetings are starting to increase due to team size and responsibility increases, but it would be pretty hard to beat the benefits/vacation/pay all in one, so I will probably keep it even if I have to drop down to 2 jobs. Ike. What the hell do I care? I'm a huge advocate for being dynamic, so we will see. J2, fired. They figured out I sucked after about 10 months. I did, in fact, suck. Oh well. J3, fired. The workload was pretty easy, but getting that workload done was misery. So many requests. I'm talking 7 individual requests to 6 different teams to get an alert created. Absolute ass. Sad that I sucked for my super cool boss, but that's really the only negative. Lasted for about 1 year. J4G, owing strong and I hope it never goes away. I do absolutely fucking nothing. I have 4 30-minute meetings on my calendar. I go to 5 of them. I am on call, but I have been called a grand total of 3 times, and those wake-up calls are literally the only thing I have contributed. 245k so far to do damn nearly literally 0 things. Hilarious. I fucking love J4. J5, as you may recall, I love J5. My boss and I got along marvelously. Due to the economic downturn I had to say goodbye, but she called me and I'm back. Whoop whoop. Start date is in a few weeks. Hell yeah, these wings are apparently unmelting back to wings as a plummet to the earth. Rad. J6 sucks so bad. I was there for about 2 months. 120/H. They were just unsatisfiable. My go-to is to impress the shit out of them up front and fade away into the ether. Well, these guys just refused to be impressed. Whatever. They paid me 40k to be frustrated and annoyed for 2 months. Worth. J7, this job just started, and I was brought on as a large group to another company to facilitate some SRE-focused changes. Good. Fucking Lord. This team is a joke. A sham. A terror to all things agile. Leadership is non-existent, we have no access requests get denied, stories get deleted and are called confusing, but that confusion isn't explained or corrected. I fully expect this job to just completely collapse. Who knows? Who cares? That's the rundown. If you're keeping track, that's effectively 4 jobs currently. I was down to 2 for a few months. It was honestly kind of relaxing. I'm still trudging along, just raking in money. My financial advisor loves planning shit with me, as I am pretty open to whatever. I'm young, and I've got a fuck ton of money coming in. Between my wife and I we made about 880k last year. On that note, holy fucking fuck taxes. Bruh. I'm about to send a goddamn house worth of money to the IRS. My CPA is still working on it, but the Fed is gonna get like 200k from my ass. Obviously war, but holy cow. I think I paid like 23k in Fed taxes for the 2020 year. Crazy shit. With the 2 W2 jobs and my wife's W2 job, we have a good amount in taxes paid already, but I'm still gonna write a 130k check or some nonsense. Brutal. As part of my life advice column, don't forget to save for taxes if you have your own corporation. I was living the high life with 5 jobs. I could save up 200k in about 2 months if I needed to, but jobs don't stick around forever. Don't count on them. Just put it in a decent savings account and keep that shit. Life in general, life is pretty good. I have a solid retirement plan set up. My arbitrary figure right now is to retire at 55 with a yearly stipend of about 230k until death with a before/after taxes wombo. Houses are sitting pretty, with a much needed facelift to one, and the other will start in the summer. I hired a buddy to learn how to be an engineer since I figured out how to set myself up and I like to help people. Dude is making 100k a year being a fucking rookie. Hilarious. I also get a nice tax reprieve from bringing him on as 1099, so that's nice. The hope is for him to kind of take over J7 if they ever get their own giant foot out of their own giant ass. Otherwise I don't have much to update. I haven't really learned anything new, my perspectives/recommendations are static from my first post. I think it's a good way to go about this whole OI thing. Chase that J4 man. Who boy that job is fucking rad as hell. As always, I will aggressively answer questions people have. Don't nag me though guys. Read through the comments of the first post before you ping me or I will ignore you. Commenter, how's your physical health? Do you have time to get some exercises? Does your sleep schedule get impacted? Plan on having kids? Oop, physical health is okay. I've been pretty shitty the last 5 years, but was incredibly active before that. Working towards losing the belly that is built up now. I've been super into fasting recently. T's working pretty well. Sports 2 to 3 times a week, trying to get at least 30 minutes of walking in each day. It's a process. My sleep schedule is awesome. I wake up at 8:58 for my first meeting sometimes, about 3/4 times I just skip it and get the extra 30 minutes of Z's. Kids are no bueno. I have plenty of nieces and nephews that I can rain money down on and I like my time being mine. Update 5. I still get requests to update, and given that my J4 project was officially announced as closing at the end of September, I figured today was a great day to write out my experience, what I did with my money, and some closing remarks to fully close out this wild ride. This year, I have had 2 jobs. My original J1 is still my J1. I was promoted to principal and overall the amount of work I have to complete has significantly increased. While I don't care about companies at all and believe that pilfering as much money from them for as little work as possible is not only morally right but absolutely appropriate given they do the inverse to us every day, I do care very much about the individual people I interact with daily. There are multiple juniors on my team that require substantial effort, which I am very happy to help coach them and assist in their career growth and navigation. My team's overall responsibility has also been much better defined and therefore it's been harder to hide in plain sight. I like the company, I like the work, and I like the team. I've never been proud of a place I've worked at before, and I believe that J1 has earned that pride and the trust I have placed on them by allowing it to become my sole job. J2, J4 from my original post, has gotten pretty gross. We were a team split in half by FTEs and contractors, 10 in total. We got a new manager early in the year who simply has no appreciation for how terrible the on-call is. We were all sharing the primary/secondary responsibility, so I was on call once every 2.5 months. That week is usually hell. You will get called on average 2-3 times a night. There were a few times where I worked for /30 hours straight. Absolutely brutal. One of my fellow contractors left for a different team and the new manager made the rest of the contractors be solely responsible for on-call. So now I am on call once a month, which is honestly so bad I thought about leaving just because of this, even though we basically don't do any other work. It simply wasn't sustainable keeping J1 happy while getting absolutely ass-blasted 7 days out of 28. Well, they have decided to end our contract at the end of September and expect the FTEs to now do that work. They are a good crew. I truly pity where their work life is headed. I am still passively looking for a new J2, but honestly right now I feel a fairly immense amount of relief. Unless something falls in my lap I will be working the single job until the market recovers. Having to actually earn a job through solid interviewing is so annoying. Lol. Below I will go over earnings, how I've benefited, where I fucked up, and where I succeeded. Hopefully it's interesting to you, or even something to learn from. Rough gross earnings, 2022, 360k 2023, 730k 2024, estimated year-end, 450k net worth at the start, /90k net worth current, /1 million that's it. That's the sum total of 3 years of being OI. It's mostly been fun. I've learned a ton, mostly about how to manage people and expectations. My favorite moments have definitely been being able to tell people that should be told to fuck off, to actually fuck off. As always, I am pretty open to any questions. Commenter, other than real estate you didn't mention any additional portfolio investments. Throw some money into stocks? Oop, we've invested /100k a year between 401k, 401k match, 457b, pension, and a brokerage. I'm 38. J2, /75/H very shitty electric company in the Northeast. Deprecated system. Pretty tedious. Fired after almost a year. J3, /90/H large healthcare company. Boss wanted to hire me full-time after about 6 months, but some personal stuff got in the way for him and he was MIA for about 4 months. When he came back, he wasn't impressed, I wouldn't be either. Contract killed after about 14 months. J4, /105/H premium contracting company. Contract dies at the end of September /3 years total. Somewhere around 610k pilfered. J5, /120/H. The big fast food burger joint. They killed all temp contractors when the economy looked fishy. Got fired during my wedding trip. Lamau. This one made me sad, as my boss and I jive super well and this was damn near a free 5k a week. Killed after /tilde 6 months J6, /tilde 110/H. Large financial company. They churned me and burned me. Was there to do a technical analysis of their SRE program. Completed. Was there for /tilde 1 month. J7, /tilde 120/H. Large financial company. I could not make these people happy. Did the same actions that made J5 love me and they were beyond disappointed. No idea what they were looking for, but it wasn't me. There for about /tilde 2 months. J8, /tilde 95/H. Large shipping company. I told my manager that I didn't suggest an improvement to an implementation that I didn't fully understand yet and she just deleted my ass. I guess she wanted me to be hyper aggressive about my opinion without fully understanding the system. They're about /tilde 3 weeks.